Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, my name is Sulis Rizkyka. I'm from Economic Education 2018. In this occasion, I would presentation about my research proposal. But before it, I would say thank you and honorable to Mr. Dr. Ari Saptono SA MPD as a head of Faculty Economics and also my first supervisor, the honorable to Mr. Aditya Pratama SPD MPD as my second supervisor, and also the honorable to Miss Prof. Dr. Sri Indah Nikensari SAMPSA as a head of economic education. In this occasion, I would show my research proposal with the title The Influence of Teaching Practice Experience and Self-Efficacy on Interest in Being a Teacher and Student of the Education Department, Faculty of Economics, State University of Jakarta, page 2018. This is the topic we are discussing now. Chapter 1 is introduction, second is literature review, and then the last one is research method. Okay, this is my background research. The first one is education has an important role for every human being, and quality education is an aspiration for all education stakeholders. One of education stakeholder is the teacher. Teacher as one of the determinants of educational success. LPTK or Lembaga Pendidik Tenaga Kependidikan as an institution that provides education for teachers and for those educators. One of them is the University of Jakarta. But the data showed that only 29.94% of participants entered the educational study program at Economic Faculty of UNJ, while 17.06% chose non-educational study program like accountant or management. Second, Kemendikbud survey of 512,500 UNBK participate in 2017. The data show that only 11% of students want to become a teacher. That's a little. And then also Kemendikbudristek conduct a survey in 2021, and the data show that students in Indonesia do not choose a job according to their study program. Yeah, only 20% students in Indonesia choose a job, and that's matched with their study program. Okay, next is Tracer Study FLUNJ 2018, and the data show only 15.5% of alumni working in the field of education. I mean, as teacher. This is the presentation about the job, alumni's job in FLUNJ 2018. And then also I make the pra-research, and the result show that only 6% that choose a teacher, and then they are interested in becoming a teacher. This is the research question and research purpose. The first one is Is there any influence between teaching practice experience on interest in becoming a teacher? Second, is there any influence between self-efficacy on interest in become a teacher? 3. Is there any influence between teaching practice experience on self-efficacy? And the last one is there any influence between teaching practice experience on interest in becoming a teacher through self-efficacy? And this is the research purpose to find out the effect of teaching practice experience on interest in becoming a teacher, to determine the effect of self-efficacy on interest in becoming a teacher, to find out the effect between teaching practice experience and self-efficacy, and the last one is to find out the effect of teaching practice experience on interest in becoming a teacher through self-efficacy. This is the benefit of my research. The first one is theoretical benefits. This research is expected to add new knowledge and insight about the factors that influence interest in becoming a teacher, provide evidence on how much influence teaching practice experience and self-efficacy have on interest in becoming a teacher, and can overcome the problem of low interest in being a teacher with student experience during teaching, implementation, or practice seriously and try to be sure of their abilities. And for practical benefits, the first one is for university, provides benefit and being considered by university to increase student potential and produce professional teacher candidates, especially for students majoring in education, Faculty of Economics, UNG. And for students or college students, become a reference of research reference if you want to do research with a familiar term. Be an inspiration for students who want to pursue the teaching profession and can be motivated to increase their confidence in teaching according to their educational background. And the last one is for the writers. Can add to the author's knowledge and insight regarding how much influence teaching practice and self-efficacy on interest in becoming a teacher. In addition, the author can apply the theory and find out how far the theory is obtained by applying it in real life. Okay, next is second chapter, that is literature review. Okay, I will explain the supporting theory or grand theory in this research proposal. The first one is social cognitive career theory, pioneered by Land, Brown, and Hackett. The theory describes three interrelated models, namely interest development, career decision-making, and performance and persistence in education and vocational field. This theory argued that interest and intention develop, which are part of self-efficacy beliefs. And the second is experiential learning theory, or ELT, put forward by one of the experts, namely David Kolb. ELT was created to provide an intellectual foundation for experiential learning practice and develop innovation in education. According to him, learning is a process of creating knowledge gained through experience. And this is the concept from Y, variable Y, interested and becoming a teacher. Selain itu, 2015, according to Slameto 2015, interest is defined as a feeling or liking or an interest that arises in something without any orders from any party. According to Darmadi 2018, the teacher is a profession that has the task of education and directing students to be successful in the future, both in the academic and non-academic fields. And the last one is interest in becoming a teacher is a feeling of pleasure towards the teaching profession so that individuals pay more attention to the teaching profession and have a desire to become a teacher. This is according to Nasrullah, Saleh Niswati, and Salam 2018. Next is variable X, teaching practice experience. According to January, experience is a comprehensive activity carried out by a person and has meaning from activities or events experienced during life. Next is Nuanekezi. Teaching practice is a series that has three main tasks, namely the teaching practice of teaching skill, learning to become a teacher, and the experience. The experience is experienced by students when implementing it in their receiving school with the aim that students get to know the real world of education and prepare students to become professional teachers. We can conclude that teaching practice is a program taken by students to practice and become a means for students to practice, participate, and adapt to the real school environment. The program provides an experience that can be used as learning for students to determine their future career. Okay, this is literature review from self-efficacy. According to Emin Turkoglu and et al., self-efficacy is an individual belief about the ability to manage responsibility for oneself. According to Bandura in Salter, 2020, self-efficacy is an individual's belief and ability to carry out something needed to achieve success in accordance with certain targets. And we can conclude that self-efficacy is a person's belief in one's own ability to do something about situation or condition that cannot be predicted. Okay, this is the indicator on variable. The first one is X. Teaching practice experience indicator has a 5-point. That is professional and institutional socialization. Second is learning and development. Third is socio-emotional aspect. 4 is support and supervisor. And the last one is vocational aspect. For X, next is self-efficacy indicator. There are 3 indicators. First one is level, strength, and generalization. This is from Bandura dalam Alam 2018. And then the last one is from variable Y, indicators of interest in becoming a teacher. The first one is knowing the teaching profession or cognition. Second is feeling towards the teaching profession or emotion. Last one is have a desire or willingness to become a teacher or konasi. This is from Nasrullah et al. 2018. This is a relevant research in my proposal. The first one is research from Rahmadianti et al. 2020 entitled Interest in Becoming a Teacher, Perception on the Teacher Profession, Introduction to School Fields or PLP, and Self-Efficacy. Second, research from Masrotin and Wahyudi entitled The Role of Self-Efficacy in Mediating the Effect of School Field Introduction, or PLP, and Teacher Professional Perception on Interest in Becoming an Accounting Teacher. And the third is research from Sofian et al. 2020 entitled The Effect of the Educational Field Experience Program, or PLK, and Self-Efficacy on Interest in Becoming a Teacher. And then the fourth is research from Rothman and Sisman 2016 with entitled Internship Impact on Career Consideration of Business Student Internship. Next is research from Hu, Nia, and Tai entitled Pre-Service Teachers Experience with Internship Related Challenge in Regional School and Their Career Intention Implication for Teacher Education Program. And the last one is research by Roiz et al. 2019 with entitled Preparing Science Undergraduates for a Teaching Career, Source of Their Teacher Self-Efficacy. This is my hypothesis proposal. Teaching first variable is teaching practice experience, influence self-efficacy, interested in becoming a teacher. The first hypothesis is there is an influence between teaching practice experience on interest in becoming a teacher. Second hypothesis is there is an influence between self-efficacy on interest in becoming a teacher. Third hypothesis is there is an influence between teaching practice experience on self-efficacy. And then the last one is there is an influence between teaching experience in teaching practice experience on interest in becoming a teacher through self-efficacy. And then this is the third chapter in this research proposal, that is research methods. Okay, time is February until April 2022. Place is Faculty of Economics, Jakarta State University. Okay, I am use the primary data from the college student in majoring education in FA UNJ. And the population is student of the Department of Education, Faculty of Economics, UNJ batch 2018. This is the research type. Research type is quantitative descriptive, and then analysis with path analysis. And also the population is student of Department of Education, Faculty of Economics, UNJ batch 2018. From economic education, accounting education, business education, and also administration education. That is all. Total population is 308. Okay, and we I got the sampling, probability sampling with the technique simple random sampling, that by looking at Isaac and Misael's table with an error rate of 5%. And I got 161 college students for sampling this research. This research. Okay, this is a research method. The first one is data collection technique is questionnaire. Next is instrument test, validity test, and then reliability test with if R count lebih besar R table, that is valid instrument. And reliability, crown batch alpha lebih besar daripada 0.6, that is reliable. Next is analysis prerequisite test, that is normality test, and then linearity test with significancy level lebih dari 0,05 linear relationship. Next is classic assumption test, that there are 3. First one is multicollinearity test, heteroscedasticity test, and then autocorrelation test. Next is hypothesis testing. There are 3 testing in hypothesis. The first one is F-uji test, T-uji test, and then coefficient of determination. And the last one is Sobel test. Sobel test, if Z count lebih dari Z table, which has a value of 1.96, it can be said that there has a influence, that there is an indirect effect on the mediating variable. Okay, thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.